Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us once again for our bi-weekly guided meditation and Dharma talk here at the Blue Lotus Meditation and Mindfulness Center. We are located in central Minnesota in the beautiful Brainerd Lakes area. And so if you're ever in the area, you are certainly welcome to come sit and participate in any of our ongoing activities or Dharma talks or simply even get-togethers, or maybe just find some time to sit by yourself in quiet meditation and reflection. You're always welcome at our center. So today is May 26th. It is now 6 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone in Minnesota, and we're delighted to see each and every one of you here with us tonight. And just a brief announcement for upcoming weeks, for upcoming June and so forth, that our June schedule, we will be in Cambodia for the month, visiting family and friends and also learning new mindfulness and lessons and meditation with various monks and at the pagodas in the area. So we will have, our offerings will be rebroadcasts of some previous more popular Dharma talks. And so we will be back fully in force with our live streams occurring live beginning in July. And I think it's July 7th or 8th, whatever that Monday is. I forget offhand. Also, if you're interested in participating or joining our aspirant pathway, many people in the world today are just experiencing suffering and dissatisfaction at a much greater extent, and especially our young students, young teenagers in society are just faced with so many different challenges that you and I did not experience growing up, and so especially with social media and bullying and so forth. And so if you or even if you are perhaps interested in joining our aspirant pathway, you are absolutely welcome to. And so you can check our website under continuing your journey, and you'll find more information as well as the sign-up sheet if you're interested in. My fan just kicked on. I don't want there to be any loud distractions between us. So let's begin with our 3 jewels as we open up officially the Dharma talk and guided meditation. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. Very well. So it's important to pay homage to the Buddha, his teachings, the Dharma, and you, the Sangha. So that's why we begin each of our get-togethers, our Dharma talks with that honorific. And so tonight's Dharma talk, right? Your body, mind, and the Dharma. They are all very important, right? We do have a body, we do have a mind, and we are fortunate enough to have received the Dharma, Buddha's wonderful teachings. And so tonight's Dharma talk is how we can merge those 3 qualities and aspects together so that we can have a more fulfilling life, helping others and helping ourselves, and finding the liberation and the enlightenment that we all are looking for. So let's begin with a nice guided meditation, and we'll just do a short body scan meditation. So go ahead and close your eyes and get into a comfortable position. Relax your shoulders. When you close your eyes, some people like to open them just slightly with a soft gaze, and you're more than welcome to do so. And breathe in. Pause. and breathe out. And as you exhale, just allow any tension that you may be experiencing to just dissipate. Excuse me. Go ahead and allow any shifting to occur as you continue to settle in. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. And while you continue settling and perhaps adjusting a little bit, go ahead and allow that half smile to rest on your face as well. Go ahead and bring attention to your head, to the top area of your body, your head. And visually, like you're looking from the outside, notice your hair, your eyes, your eyebrows, your nose, ears, and mouth. Think about each one of them. Think about the purpose of your ears, the purpose of your hair. Think about how our mouths are used to communicate and to ingest food, keeping us alive. And how our eyes help us connect with the world by seeing all of our friends and family, beautiful flowers, helping us avoid dangerous situations like potholes or uneven steps. And how our nose is used to inhale oxygen, keep us alive. It also tells us if something is rotten and perhaps unsafe to eat, or delicious, or beautifully fragranced. Go ahead and move your way down from your head down to your neck, to your shoulders. Notice if there's any tension or stress built up or stored in those areas. As you breathe, with each exhale, allow that stress or tension to just dissipate. Thinking about our neck, it's the beginning of our spinal column, where all of our nerves begin and travel all throughout our body. And moving down to our chest, feeling our chest move up and fall back down with each breath. Thinking about how important our rib cage is to protecting our body, our lungs, our heart. You can think about the shape of our chest, shape of our abdomen, and all the organs that we may find down in our lower reaches, intestines, lung or liver, kidneys. We can bring attention again back to our arms, our front arms and the back side of our arms, our elbows, the forearms, your wrists, your hands and fingers and fingernails, and thinking how important our fingers and our hands are to helping us grasp necessary tools, helping us do our jobs to help provide for our families, holding our spouses or loved ones' hands or giving them a warm embrace to show affection or support. Maybe you write a letter. Hands are very important. And then moving back down our spine, down to our buttocks. And as you sit there, maybe notice any pressure or sensations that you're feeling in your buttocks as you sit there. Not trying to push it away, just accepting it. Moving down to our thighs. Imagine the shape of our thighs. Are they wide and firm, or are they thin? Do we have little hairs growing on them? And moving down to our knees and our shin and calves. Our ankles, the heel of our foot, the arch beneath our foot, and the balls of our forefoot, the toes, the toenails, thinking about how important our feet are, our legs, so that we can walk around and move from place to place. Go ahead and move back up to your head and to your mind. And notice any thoughts that you're feeling or you're thinking. Not trying to push any away, just welcoming them in as kind friends and then letting them leave whenever they're ready. Just bring awareness to them. All the thoughts and the feelings. Go ahead and bring ourselves back into our current location. You may open your eyes when you feel ready, observing the surroundings around you. And you may adjust if you need to. Very well. Good job. So when we consider the word Dharma itself, right? Dharma simply means the nature of reality, right? Regarded as a universal truth taught by the Buddha, right? And those are his teachings. So there's a lot of stories and parables, Four Noble Truths, right? The Eightfold Path, a lot of sutras out there that help explain so that we can make a personal relationship and understanding to many different situations. And in order to live a fulfilling life and share the Dharma, opening up our Dharma heart in a way that's beneficial or advantageous to all living beings, including you, right? We have to have mental clarity, healthy thoughts. And if we look at the Noble Eightfold Path, there's absolutely one of those steps, right? Right thought and even right view, right? Then they allow us to that step on the Eightfold Path, right? Helps us realize that we need to have healthy thoughts and mental clarity. And too often, as people, it's easy to have negative thoughts. Those are very easy. They don't take much energy, right? When something happens, it could be a very nice thing, right? But sometimes we find the negative about it, right? Imagine the most beautiful day that you could ever want. No clouds, perfect sunshine, nice humidity, good temperature. But you may think, wow, it's going to rain any moment now. Right? Why is that? Why is that? Right? Why do we jump to the negative? Is that a healthy thought? Sure, it's going to rain sometime, right? Absolutely it will. But that takes us out of the moment. And the Buddha tells us, right? What we think, we become. Right? Our thoughts guide us and allow us to walk on a path. And that path is entirely our choosing. It can be negative or it can be positive. Right? So what we think, we become. And oftentimes, people experience or live through what are called limiting mindsets. Right? And what does that mean, a limiting mindset? Perhaps you were in school sometime and maybe you just didn't score, a very high grade on, let's say it was a math test or a science test, right? Or maybe even a French test if you took another language. And maybe your teacher saw your scores and handed you back your paper and told you, wow, you are just not any good at French. You'll never be good at French. Or you will never be good at math, or you'll never be good at science. And you believe that. And what that does is gives you permission for all future attempts in whatever those classes are or that activity to fail. Because you believe that prison that somebody else gave to you. So oftentimes authority figures, teachers, parents, siblings, friends, can put you in a box. Even coaches, right? Sports coach can put you in a box in your mindsets, thinking that you will never be good at something. So that's not right view, right? That's not right thought. That's not a healthy thought. And that's certainly not mental clarity. We all have the ability to learn, to grow, and to make mistakes. And somebody else's judgment of us, if we allow it, can keep us inside a prison for a very long time. So we have to let go of that type of a mindset, a limiting mindset. Another type is black and white thinking. And what does that mean? Black and white thinking, binary thinking. This is good. This is bad. There's nothing in the middle. Right? And so some news that we may receive in our lives may not be the best news. It may be traumatic. On the flip side, some news may be very good. It's what we've always wanted, right? But we have to give space and time to a lot of situations that occur so that we can truly witness and experience, is it really good? Is it really bad? Again, that can also go with the black or the limiting mindsets, right? I'm never good. I'm no good at this, right? My sister's always been good at this. My brother has always been good at this activity. I'm never good at this. So that's also black and white thinking and also limiting mindsets. Catastrophizing. Everything is a disaster, right? Everything is a disaster. Perhaps you're at a job, at your career, and they make a new policy, whatever it is, and you just criticize it right away. Oh, it's never been done this way before. This is just a disaster. Our bosses don't know what they're doing. Catastrophizing every action as something negative will keep you negative. Minimizing, right? We may get some bad news, but we minimize the significance of it. Perhaps it is a serious illness, right? When we minimize, we don't take into account our feelings wholly, and we may even minimize somebody else's experience, right? Oftentimes, especially on social media, right? Somebody may share some bad news, and there's usually comments that minimize those situations. And so when we minimize somebody else's experience, we also minimize our own experience. And that's an unbalanced situation to be in. Again, that's not right view. It's not right thought. And it's not a healthy thought. And it takes away from our mental clarity. The opposite of minimizing is maximizing. Right? We maximize the most, which can maximizing can also kind of go along with catastrophizing. Right? We make it bigger than it is. Right? It's more significant than the situation really is. And so between maximizing and minimizing and catastrophizing, black and white thinking, and limiting mindsets, we have to nurture healthy thoughts, mental clarity, right thought, right view. We have to realize that oftentimes we are acting very impulsively. We are not offering ourselves the space, the calmness, and the balance to truly appreciate and reflect on whatever that situation is. And we also have to realize and understand that it's impermanent. Not every day is going to be a sunny day, and not every rainy day is going to be a rainy day. So stepping back, finding balance and clarity will help us live a more fulfilling life with the Dharma. But what about our bodies? What does the Buddha say about our bodies? Right, that's important. I know they talk a lot about no self, right, or the self, or the it, right, you, right. But the truth is, we have a body, right. We are here, we are present, right, for a certain amount of time. So, what about our body? Did the Buddha say anything about health and wellness? Right. So the Buddha didn't really promote physical fitness as we think about it today, right? Pilates, going to the gym, going for a jog, right? He didn't promote it in that sense. What he did promote was moderation, right? Not living to the extremes. right? And he stated that, in the Dhammapada, right, that health is the greatest gift, right? And the Buddha recognized that a healthy body supports a calm and alert mind, which is essential for meditation, right? In the monastic code, right, the Vinaya, there are guidelines for health maintenance, right? Such as, again, eating in moderation, proper hygiene, and seeking treatment, when you're sick or ill, right? So it's important to take care of our bodies. And of course, not all of us are, are in the monastic arena or a part of that monastic code, but we still need to have healthy bodies. We still need to exercise appropriately, eat in moderation, right? Go to the doctor when you're sick, right? It's important to have a healthy body, because when we are having and enjoying health as the greatest gift, we are able to have a calm and balanced mind. And so, thinking about our bodies, age has a lot to do with ailments that we get. Younger people, right? Kids, teenagers, 20s, perhaps up in the 30s, right? Once you start getting to your 30s, maybe a little bit older, you start to notice, some age related, um, conditions starting to arise. And so again, it's being cognizant of our bodies are going to age, right? Even when the Buddha left the palace, before he became the Buddha, right? He left the palace. He saw the young and the old and the dying, right? Our bodies are going to go through that. And so just being aware. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's nothing to be shameful of. Gray hair, I don't have any, right? I lost all mine for the most part, right? And what little grows in, it's all gray. And then there are gender related health issues, right? Females, right? They have, you have your own set of medical tests to be aware of, whether it's, for breast cancer, going to the gynecologist or to the OBGYN, making sure that, mammograms and so forth. So females have their own, right? And they need to be looked at, just as diligently and timely as males, right? Males have their own ailments, that are specific for them, prostates, high blood pressure, perhaps dietary, things that go along with aging for men as well. And so we both have our own, right? And they all need to be seeking treatment, when those conditions arise. But what about physical conditioning itself, right? Oftentimes, just a good physical, disciplined, health regimen, right, can be making the difference to improving the quality of our life, right? So that we can enjoy healthy body as the greatest gift. And the Buddha often recommended walking meditation. Now think about that, walking meditation. And it's a form of mindful walking that promotes both physical movement and mental clarity, right? So again, for the monks, and he states that monks, these are the 5 benefits of walking meditation, which truly anyone can enjoy, right? These 5. One is fit for long journeys. One is fit for striving. One has little disease. What one eats and drinks and chews and tastes is properly digested. The composure attained by walking meditation, right, is long lasting. And this is one of the dearest endorsements of physical activity for both health and spiritual gain. So we have to take care of our bodies, right? When we have a healthy body, right, oftentimes we have a very healthy mind as well. But again, it's not living in extreme environments of extreme, lavishness or extreme deprivation. And that goes with diet as well. Because remember, the Buddha in his diets, in his quest to be, for enlightenment, to find the cessation of suffering, he had, being born in the wealth that he had, right? He had all the lavishness, but on his journeys to enlightenment, the other form of asceticism that he experienced, right, was very severe deprivation. A lot of times you'll see a lot of statues of Buddha sitting there, and it's just all in emaciated and skeletal frame, skeletal body. And those were the times where he experienced and tried to find enlightenment through severe deprivation. But that's where he discovered the middle way, right? Which includes, caring for the body in a balanced way. And he states that, that there are these two extremes, right? That should not be practiced. Indulgence in sensual pleasures. When we say sensual pleasures, it's not only referring to sexual activity, right? It's anything that involves the senses. Too much pie, too much cake, too many sweets, right? So indulging in sensual pleasures and self-mortification, right? That's that deprivation of starving yourself, not enjoying, the foods that you do have or the comforts that are available to you, but not having too many, right? So avoiding both extremes so that the Tathagata has awakened to the middle way. So it's important to have that middle path, not too much, not too little, and then letting it go, right? And so this also includes, eating enough, right? We have to make sure that we eat properly, 2 to 3 meals a day. Resting, getting enough sleep, right? And not harming the body unnecessarily. All relevant, right, to these modern ideas of fitness and well-being. Right? So important to take care of our bodies, right? Because when we have a healthy body, right, we enjoy the gifts that health brings. We are able to help nurture a calm and balanced mind, along with meditation, right? Allows us to explore the Dharma in wholesome and uplifting ways so that we can share it with others as well. So something to think about, right? Don't have to spend 7 or 8 hours a day in a gym. Just a healthy walk, looking at nature. And if it's raining outside and it's, too cold, maybe you live in an area with a lot of snow, maybe walking meditation, maybe you can't go as far, but you still do something, right? Perhaps a home-based, yoga session or something. Keeping your body active is important. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. And just that warm reminder. So for June, so it'll be June 9th and the 23rd, those 2 upcoming Dharma talks. They will be our pre-recorded ones from previous sessions. And so our next, in July, the next true live Dharma talk, where I'll be back and I'll be sharing some updates, I believe, if I can get everything situated and processed and formatted appropriately. Share some wonderful teachings and lessons learned and so forth from our Cambodia visit, for the month of June. So, but in the meantime, I certainly have access to email and can see messages and so forth. So do not hesitate if you have any questions, needing support, just to say hi. You're always welcome to, and you always receive a timely response. Right. So with that, my friends, thank you for coming, and we wish you all many blessings, and we will see you shortly. Right. Namo Buddhaya, and take care, my friends.